Hi everyone, Andy Holt here. Just thought I'd do a quick video on diet and health and fitness and training and what I do. I've been sort of doing fasting for about 2.5 years now. It started with intermittent fasting. When you start intermittent fasting, it's quite hard. The thought of going periods without meal. When I started, I was doing quite tame, like 16-8. So I was on a regular sort of normal Western diet, let's say. So 16-8 means you've got an 8-hour eating window and then a 16-hour intermittent fast. The biggest benefit of just starting doing that 16-8 is you stop snacking. So, stop fridge raiding in an evening. And I literally just I wouldn't have breakfast or anything to eat till 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I would stop eating at 7 o'clock at night. And that was transformational. Now, I've always gone to the gym, but you get into these situations where whatever your work pattern is at the time, and I was on the road all the time, and obviously you get into having service stations and picking up food and things like that, and bad habits. Put on some weight, it's like visceral fat, around the gut. The way to get rid of that is when you're carrying quite a lot of body fat. Starting intermittent fasting is a good way to kickstart that. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. That was a really, really quick way to start getting in shape. So you start losing a lot of weight just because you stop snacking. And when you're carrying quite a bit of weight, it's quite good to get. It's almost like in the gym, beginner gains. That then hits a point. I was also at the time doing a lot of spinning, so everyone thinks that going to the gym and doing shed loads of cardio will lose weight. It maybe helps, but things like cardio, if you're doing HIIT, high intensity interval training, that's the best type of cardio. I was doing spin HIIT classes. They're absolutely brutal. I was pretty much doing one a day, every day, sometimes 2 a day, back to back. I lost quite a lot of weight doing that, and it was really good. Now, then it kind of stalled. So what I did is change my diet. So I went into like a keto or a low carb diet, kind of modified keto, like a clean keto, a lot of veggies, which I know in a lot of veggies there are some carbs, so you have to watch it. But the idea of going in a keto diet is you go fat adapted. Now, low carb is absolutely transformational for your health, because if you think a lot of the 4 big killers in our lives are things like diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, all that kind of stuff. They're all based on inflammation, which comes from the main thing that spikes inflammation is carbohydrates. So if you pretty much cut them out or reduce them down to sort of 5%, going on keto, you want to be sort of 70-75% fat, but good fats, sort of 20%. If you're over 40, you can go higher on your protein. I think you can go 25, even a bit more if you want. Basically, you want low carb, and that reduces inflammation. It does loads of things. Not only does it lose weight, so when you're on a more Western diet, carbohydrate diet, your body is burning carbohydrates and obviously sugars and things like that, and carbs for its energy first, because it converts them first. And if you are eating fat at the same time, it will store the fat, burn the carbs. Now, obviously you can go on a low fat diet or a calorie restrictive diet to lose weight, but if you go on keto, it's almost like a fake fast, because your body gets used to it. It basically doesn't have the carbs, so your body can use fats, which is what ketosis is. It's burning ketones, which is fat, and your body becomes fat adapted. So it's already in that kind of mode of burning fat. Now, what I did when you do your intermittent fast, you can do them much longer. You can do 20-hour fast, no problem. Some people have this OMAD, 1 meal a day, and you don't feel hungry. Now, to absolutely go the next level, once you get on the keto diet, what I started to do was prolonged fast. So now I can say go a day, 2 days, 3 days without eating, probably even longer, but 2 or 3 days, between 2 to 3 days, I think is the sweet spot, because your body's already fat adapted with the keto. It's used to burning fat, and when you stop eating, your body just eats body fat, and you don't feel hungry. It's really weird, but you literally I shed 1.5 stone in a month, but I also I was going to the gym, so I actually put on muscle. I don't know how much fat, but I was basically a lot lighter in a month, just going on keto. So that was like, as soon as we came out of lockdown, I learned the keto diet, I went straight back in the gym. Only accounts for about 15% of weight loss. It's more for shape, so if you're doing like weights and shape and tone, bodybuilding, that kind of thing. Whereas your real fat burn will come from your diet, and going on that low carb keto diet with those prolonged fasts or intermittent fasts is the way to go. Now, I was doing intermittent fasting every day. Now I kind of shot my body. I do some weeks I might do 2 prolonged fasts. Some weeks I might do no fast at all. I might mix it up with a bit of intermittent fasting. I tend to do it quite irregular now. Right at the minute though, I'm actually trying to put weight on. I'm trying to go on a bit of a bulk, but I'm doing that still with a keto diet. Obviously, if I just wanted to put loads of weight on, I could just have mass gainers and just start eating loads of carbs and pasta and I'd just balloon. But I want to do it in a clean bulk, so I am doing it sort of keto. So I'm kind of upping my carbohydrates, still making sure that you don't want to put on too much body fat. You put on a bit, but you want to put on lean muscle. So what I'm doing there is just basically not really doing much intermittent fasting now. I might do 1-2 days a week. Probably not going to do any prolonged fast for at least a month. The other thing with keto, of course, is to every now and again you've got a carb cycle. I pick this up, so I do a lot of like reading on the topic, and like Dave Asprey, I don't know if you know this guy, but he basically he's got this bulletproof diet and the bulletproof coffee, which is really famous. But he talks a lot about carb cycling, and there's many different ways of carb cycling, but on keto, you want to go 2 to 3 months. I will go 2-3 months on keto, quite tight, very low carb, and then I'll go like a couple of weeks or so, I'll come off and carb cycle. And in this book, Superhumans, absolutely fantastic book, by the way. The tips in here are brilliant. Dave explains that your body needs to still be efficient at burning both ketones, like fats, and also carbohydrates. So carb cycling really helps. And it also, if you hit a plateau, you've lost some weight and you're on keto and you're wondering what's going on, if you just come off, carb cycle a bit and restart, sometimes it kind of restarts everything. Other things is, obviously I've got some like cookbooks, I do a lot of cooking, I've got this one, Ketotarian. I was trying to this is called the mostly plant-based diet, obviously there's an egg there, but I was trying to figure out whether you could still stay on keto, get the macronutrients you want. So if I want, say, 70% fat, 25% protein and 5% carb, kind of do it mostly plant-based or at least vegetarian or whatever. I bought that book, but I like a lot of fish, that kind of thing. So I have, this is a great book as well, the Mediterranean Diet Cookbook. It's actually one of there's kind of various contributing authors, but the one here, Thomas DeLauer, is one of the leading authorities on kind of a clean keto diet and mixing that up with health and fitness. I mean, he's in incredible shape. I think he lost I don't know, it was massive. He lost 100 pounds or something doing this. So, he's in absolute elite shape. I brought this book out, it's quite good. Some of my recipes, by the way, particularly the keto eggs, that I've sort of got a lot of inspiration from this book. Another book that touches on this and is also obviously one of my favourite authors, Tim Ferriss. I don't have the book here because I've only got an audio book, but The 4 Hour Body. Now, Tim Ferriss's method is probably similar to Dave Asprey's. They talk about carb cycling 1 day a week, so it's almost like having a blowout. You might have on a Saturday, so you eat low carb most of the week, and then every Saturday, you can drink beer, eat pizza, whatever, and just have a just completely overindulge chocolate. Doing that every week, I don't like the idea of that, because the benefits of keto, when you get yourself in that sort of fat adapted state, is it takes time, it takes a few days, it can take, and I don't think after a week you're really deep into ketosis. When you first go on keto, it takes you a few weeks and then it really turbocharges, and that's why I prefer to sort of do more what Thomas DeLauer preaches, which is carb cycle every couple of months, every 3 months. Best way of doing things is put things into practice and see the results. I mean, one thing I find out when you look at my, I'll put a link in there, to my Super Dupe, the soup that I make that tastes like pizza. There are actually quite a lot of carbs in that, but I find that my tolerance to carbohydrates is quite high. I try and keep it as low as possible. And the other thing with anything like keto, fasting, don't worry too much about individual meals. I would measure it over, say, a week. So if you're measuring your macronutrients, and because if you want to lose weight, you've got to basically calories in, calories out. Don't worry about the days. So when I'm doing like prolonged fast, on the days that I'm eating, sometimes I can eat 2,000 calories in one meal, or I might eat 4,000 calories that day, but because I'm not eating, then if I go into a prolonged fast for like 2 or 3 days over the week, I might be in a deficit of 2,000 or 3,000 calories or whatever. I mean, it's not, when you do these prolonged fasts, I mean, I can do it quite aggressively. I can do 2-3 day fasts in 1 week, which means I'm only eating a day. And other weeks I might just eat every day. You find your own limit. Like, as I say, I can have probably quite a lot of carbs and still stay in that kind of relative fat burning mode. Try a few of these books. I'll list them in the description. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot from it. Try some of the techniques that I've talked about with intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting, low carb diets like keto. See what works for you. As I say, I've been doing this over a 2.5 year period, and I've got better and better at it, and it's now a lifestyle thing, and it feels really good. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and see you all next time.